Hey, how's it going everyone? Welcome to the video. Today I'm again recording something on my iPhone because, well, my computer, the audio quality is absolute garbage and I can't really figure out how to use my iPhone as a microphone because I don't have any USB plug or whatever you want to call it. So doing it on my phone again, but I think for the most part the card should be visible anyway. And I think for those of you that are new players, today I'm going to be covering a deck that is actually one of the best decks in Blitz right now, and now with the new sideboarding plans that we have available with the new Blitz rules, I think this deck is going to continue to perform quite well, and it's definitely a deck to consider buying into, simply because this one runs Courage of Bladetold instead of Fyendal Spring Tunic, which is a huge amount of savings when it comes to building a deck like this, because this one is $390, which is still a lot of money, of course, but I think most of the money is tied into the Valiant Dynamos, which is also very usable in the Bolton deck if you plan to play that one in Constructed, for example. So, but I guess if you're on a really tight budget, you can always cut the Crown of Providence for now, just run the Crown of Dominion, and you can probably cut in the blue slots, you can cut the two Warmonger's Diplomacies. Those are quite pricey right now. I think the Crown of Providence is around $100, and I think the Warmonger's Diplomacy are like $50 each. So if you cut those down, then you have a $200 deck and you should be pretty much good to go. So why do I continue to enjoy the warrior decks? Well, the warriors in general, they have a very reactive playstyle rather than a action-based one. They attack in with their weapons, in this case the Centauri Sabers, and that they have a plethora of all kinds of attack reactions. Like the Blade Runners, I can give go again to a Saber and then giving +3 to the next attack, or in the swing to the right side, for example, which says if it's the second time you're attacking with a weapon this turn, you can give +3. I really like Out for Blood simply because this one has reprice that gives +1 to the next attack on the that you will be attacking in with. So if you attack in with something like an Out for Blood and the opponent is blocking, then you get the +3, and in certain situations you will be able to get the +1 attack on the next attack as well, which combos really nicely in combination with Gore Belching right there. This is the only attack action in the deck. Well, technically one of two attack actions in the deck, because this one is a 7 attack that says when you play it, you reveal card from the top of your deck until you reveal an attack action card, and then you get a power reduction minus the power of the attack that you revealed. But the only other attack that I'm running in the deck is the Rouse the Ancients, which is a 0 attack. You're never going to be playing this card, but it just has a bit of a nice synergy when you play the Gore Belching. Coming in for 7 because the Rouse the Ancient has a 0 attack tied into it. It's a really cool combo that comes up quite a lot actually. Like I've been in a lot of situations where I had, for example, a red hidden run in my hand, a red Blade Runner, a blue, and the Gore Belching, and then you can very easily do something like you swing with the Centauri Saber, you activate the Blade Runner to give go again, you play Hidden Run, you swing your second Saber. This one will now get that attack bonus from Hidden Run as well, which is quite nice, and let's go again. And then you can follow that up with the Gore Belching after that, which is coming in for 7. Another thing that I quite like about Gore Belching is because this is a 7 attack, and if you're in that late game grind where the opponent is at maybe like 2 or 3 life and you're kind of just swinging back and forth and over blocking a bit here and there, like coming in with a 7 attack out of nowhere can kind of get you the tempo back, especially if you've been full hand blocking for several turns. Let's say that you're on 1 life yourself, having that 7 coming out of nowhere can kind of turn the tide back into your favor, and that's something that I'm also a big fan of. I have 1 copy of Minerva Themis. I'm kind of considering to cut the card. Like, it's a very nice card, don't get me wrong. Getting it into the arsenal early on is extremely strong, getting that +1 attack on every single Saber, but it's just so awkward when you have the tempo and you draw into this, then that's pretty much 1 dead card in your hand that you will not be able to use to pressure your opponent on that particular turn. And sometimes, at least in my case, I tend to put stuff like my Blood on the Hands into my arsenal if I draw into it, if I don't have enough coppers yet. And if you're in that kind of a situation, you kind of have the Minerva in hand. You cannot play it, you cannot arsenal it, then it becomes a bit awkward, and I'm not sure. Maybe I will end up cutting the Minerva out completely for now, I think it's still worth running it. I think it has won me more games than it has lost me, so I will continue to run the one copy for now. The new card that they recently released, I forgot what the name is already, like a Murloc Hill or Morlock Hill or something like that. I don't think that one is worth running, so for those of you that are newer, don't bother. I tried it out. I also thought like maybe it's good, but generally speaking, if a card requires another piece to be in your hand or in your arsenal, then it's not that good in general. So don't run that card. It's kind of a trap. I wish if that card had said something like if you play it and you can banish a Minerva directly from your deck, then it would probably have been better. But unfortunately, that's not the case with that card. You need to have it in your hand or in your arsenal, and that makes it a bit awkward. So what else is in here? We have one route to close out games. I like the punctures because there's quite a lot of armored heroes in the format right now. Push forward I used to have as a 2-off. Right now I'm running it as a 1-off. I might go back to a 2-off. I really like to dominate on the second Centauri swing, which can really help you to close out games. So still a bit considering here. Maybe I'll put an extra push forward in here and cut one of the Alpha Bloods or something, or maybe I can even get rid of the route. The route is kind of like a odd horse in this deck, and that's something that might be then I might consider ending up cutting out. The slice and dices I like the Spoils of Wars. I really love the run throughs and the Glint Quicksil, so I wouldn't change that lineup. And then when it comes to the sideboard, I personally went with Sing Below in the sideboard instead of Always Respite, because this deck doesn't have Fyendal Spring Tunic, and that makes it a little bit harder to play an Always Respite efficiently, especially if you're up against something like a Guardian hero. You would probably want to be bringing the Crown of Providence instead of the Crown of Dominion anyway, so in that case I kind of feel that having the Sink Belows in the sideboard is kind of useful, because you don't want to have the cash-ins, because generally speaking you're not going to be playing the cash-ins with the copper tokens you generate. You want to keep those copper tokens for your Blood on the Hands turns. So I went with Sink Below here as my sideboard tech, and then having cash-in for all the games where I'm running the main big piece Crown Dominion as my big combo finisher with the gold token and being able to get that instant draw too. I don't know if that's correct yet. I have actually been considering to maybe cut the Crown Dominion out of the deck completely alongside the cash-ins, which would give me an extra slot in the sideboard to maybe put something like a Fyendal Spring Tunic in here anyway, and then putting the Oasis Respite in the sideboard. This is something that you might want to consider yourself if you want to go that route or not. But I really love playing the Crown Dominion. I like those really big combo wombo turns that you can pull off with the Kassai deck by having the Crown Dominion, and I like the feeling of having that gold piece on the playmat. Like recently I was able to get the gold piece at the Calling in Antwerp thanks to a friend of mine that helped me to share some of that tick, so I could get the colorful version of that. And because of that, the gold piece kind of has a bit of emotional value to me, and sometimes I like to play cards that make me feel good while playing them, even though that they're not the most optimal in general. Maybe I'm weird like that. I'm the same when it comes to nationals, for example. Like I really love playing ninja decks, and right now I'm practicing for the upcoming nationals in Belgium, and I know for a fact that if I want to win the thing I should probably be running something like Bravo right now, or maybe Icelander, but I don't know. Like I really like to play the decks that I love to play, so I will probably be bringing Katsu to the event regardless of what the metadata is showing me. So it's a it's a bit ironic at the same time, because when it comes to helping my patrons and sharing data with patrons and stuff like that, I always share the best data and the best decks, and telling them like which one to go for if they want to win a big event. But then when it comes to my own stuff and playing my own decks, I just grab my favorite deck instead, and I'm not sure if that's the smartest thing to do, especially given my financial situation. Getting a win at the Nationals would definitely be something that would improve my financial state of things, but I don't know. I don't want to be a sellout that goes for the top meta deck all the time. I already did that in Magic the Gathering once in a while, and I don't want that to be the case in Flesh and Blood. I just want to have fun in Flesh and Blood, play the decks that I really enjoy playing. And well, with Kassai that lined up perfectly, because I do enjoy playing Warrior, and the Warrior is kind of OP in Blitz right now. So for now, I will be enjoying this as long as I can until something rolls along that is going to be stomping all over this. So are you going to be attending nationals yourself? Feel free to leave a comment down below letting me know which deck that you're going to be playing. As I said, I will probably be playing Kassai myself, but I would love to hear what everyone else has to say. I would actually, if you have questions in regards to the Kassai deck, leave the comment down below. I would prefer if you leave your questions in the YouTube comment section. I know there's a couple of people out there that like to message me over on WhatsApp or Discord when I put a video out like this to ask questions about the deck, but I think it really helps me out, at least with the YouTube algorithm, if we do all those conversations over here in the comment section. That way, other people that watch the video, they might have the same questions. Sometimes I get the same question asked by like 5 or 6 different people, and that way we can just keep the conversation going here. And if you see something that I haven't answered yet, that you do know the answer to, feel free to comment, get the conversation going, and yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say for today, I guess. I hope that the video was useful to you, and then again, if you have any questions, feel free to leave them down below. And if there's any particular deck that you would like me to cover next, feel free to let me know as well. I do keep that to keep the votes of patrons into consideration, as well as people that regularly watch my channel. Sorry that I'm a bit stumbling on my words lately. I'm a bit stressed out in real life with my wife's pregnancy. I'm not really sure how I'm going to be handling that, but I just need to make things work, I suppose. And yeah, that's all from me for today. Thanks for watching, and I will see you all soon with another Flesh and Blood video. Take care.